Good evening, everybody. Very, very busy few days here at the homestead, but we're going to be talking tonight about is the government targeting and labeling preppers, and I would say off-gridders too, okay? So we're going to talk about these things tonight and really kind of get into it a little bit, share some thoughts and stuff like that. So I hope everybody's doing great. It's been a very, very busy week here at the homestead this week. Lots of progress, as you guys seen. Anybody that watched the video that I put up earlier today, that was from yesterday afternoon. Today, I finished up splitting the rest of the wood. When I looked at it this morning, I said, it might take me an hour. It took me 2 hours. But I got all the wood is split now, so I'm real happy about that. And so, yeah, really, really productive. Been real pleased with the progress we've been making here at the homestead, getting things done. So it's really, really awesome. Okay, so let us jump into this. Oh, so before we get started, guys, I just want to remind everybody, please be decent to each other. No racism, anything like that. And just everybody, please be decent. And if you're not, my moderators will boot you out. And so they keep an eye on everything. So I appreciate that. I used to use a maul axe. I use a wood splitter now. Back before I had my surgery, I always used to do it by hand with a maul axe, and I loved doing wood that way. It was a great workout. It would take a lot longer, but I love doing it that way. Since I've had my surgery, I can use the maul axe a little bit, but I can't go like I used to. So I have to. I went and bought a splitter a couple of years ago. Probably 3 years ago, I bought a splitter. So that's what I use now. But anyway, so the other thing, once I'm done talking, if you guys have questions, please all cap lock so it stands out for me, okay? So first of all, I want to congratulate Tubular Guy 9, was the winner over at Little Prepper Ladies giveaway. And then also, who was the second place winner? JJ Biggs was the second place winner. So, and I can't remember who the third place winner was, but congratulations to all the winners for her giveaway. So that was very nice. Anyway, so with the government, there's a thing that just came out, guys, and this is kind of what I wanted to bring into this talk. Okay, is the government just came out with this thing, and they're talking about white supremacist groups and terror organizations inside the United States. Okay, and I think what they're doing, if you read between the lines of that whole situation, they're basically looking to target preppers. People that are living off grid, that are being free from the government. They're labeled a threat, okay? And here's the sad thing about this. If you get put on that particular thing and you are labeled an enemy combatant of the United States, you can be taken. You can be held with no due process, no seen a lawyer, none of your family notified. So if they say that you're some kind of a terrorist, if they put you in that category, they can just snatch you and you disappear. And they can hold you for as long as they want to. There is absolutely no due process with any of that. So that's kind of no. This is for preppers living sweet journey, and it's extremist preppers. You know what? It depends on what category they put you into, but it could be. They could lump all preppers into that category as a danger or a threat. If you look at the guidelines of there's the information that came out that basically, now think about this, people that could possibly be terrorists or considered terrorists, okay? People with missing fingers. I swear to you, I'm not making this up, okay? There was this guidelines for this. People with missing fingers. So if you've had an accident, if you're a machinist and you got a missing finger, you could possibly be a terrorist. If you have more than 2 weeks supply of food and water, you could be a terrorist. I mean, they have a whole list of these type of things, and that they could put you into that category. Now, again, if they decided that you are a terrorist, and who decides that realistically, if you think about it, anybody that they deem a threat. Preppers, guys, we are all deemed a threat. There's absolutely no doubt about that at all, because we are able to be independent. We don't have to rely on them. With the governments, all the governments, not just the United States, they want the people reliant on them. They don't like people to have free thought and think for themselves and those type of things. They don't want that. So we preppers, and I say, and off-gridders, we are people that think outside the box, and they don't want that. So there could be ramifications for that. I'm going to tell you right now, I will guarantee you I am on some kind of a watch list, guaranteed. I have absolutely no doubt that I am, because I prep and I'm also off grid. I run a YouTube channel about prepping and living off grid and those type of things and sharing my thoughts. And I'm obviously, I'm not a big fan of the government. I've said that before. Now, I've also said I have no intention of overthrowing the government or doing anything crazy like that. That's not what my whole purpose is. My purpose is to be as free as I possibly can be. But again, they like to have total and complete control. So, with people that are, hey, Mountain Girl, how you doing tonight, hon? We are being watched. Make no mistake. They don't like it that we're awake. My eyes are wide open. I agree with you 100%, and thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. You are 100% right. We are being watched. Cell phones, okay, guys? Anytime they want to, they can listen into your conversations through your cell phone. This is a nice tracking device as well. Think about that, okay? Everybody has cell phones now, okay? I mean, realistically, most people have a cell phone. So that's a great way to keep an eye on people and keep tracking people of what's going on. So, those are, and the thing is, I'm not hiding anything. I mean, you guys see, I put my life right out there. So it's like, I am not any kind of threat to the government. But, if they deem you a threat, there could be consequences to that. So you really just, hey, JJ, how you doing tonight? Always be prepared, plan for your cell phones. Oh, yeah. And if it came down to it, if it got to that point where things went absolutely crazy, it might be time to get rid of your cell phones. Okay. Or Alexa, too. Somebody just said that. That's why I don't have Alexa. I hear you. I don't have that either. I don't want that, because you can be watched. You can be watched through your laptops. That little camera that's in your laptop, they can watch you anytime they want to with that, guys. I mean, think about, in the cities now, there are cameras everywhere. Okay, there was a show that I was watching, and they contacted these people, and they came up to the people, and they said, we've been watching you. You're doing construction in your home, in front and in back. And that guy goes, how did you know that? He goes, those security cameras that you put in, everything's live and online. So people were watching these people do these renovations in their home, sitting on their back patio, having something to eat and drink. Crazy. So yeah, it's very, very crazy out there right now. And but that's one of the reasons too why I like living in the country. There's not cameras everywhere, so they're not monitoring every move that you're making. So those are things you really want to think about. Situational awareness. See what's going on around you. See who's watching. Cities, it's like the cameras are everywhere, guys. Look and see. I mean, there's been certain movies that they've showed where there's been series on TVs where, like, in the cities, and they're tracking people all through the movements of the camera, so they know exactly where these people are. So those are things you want to think about as well. But there's definitely a list. People are on the list. Okay, there's nothing you can do about that realistically. I mean, unless you buy absolutely nothing online, if you don't talk to anybody on a telephone or anywhere near any kind of device that could possibly be listening, you're monitored for what you watch. You're monitored for, who you're hanging out with. Don't think that you're not. Don't think, Enemy of the State. That was a great movie, the way that they tracked him. It's exactly. And they can do that to anybody, So we're going to be doing a video on 5G, Live to Prep 2. Or Live 2 to Prep. So we will be doing a live stream on it. We're going to have a great live stream on Sunday. So I want to let you guys all know ahead of time. On Sunday, you're going to want to tune in. The title's going to be deceiving, but I think from the title, you're going to know what the topic is going to be. And I'm not going to give it away ahead of time, but definitely tune in on Sunday. It's going to be an awesome live stream. We're going to talk about some really interesting things and hopefully wake some people up and realize what really happened on a particular date. So that's all I'm going to say about that for now. But so look for that on Sunday. So that'll be really, really cool. But anyway, I want you to just all be aware. Don't ever stop prepping. Don't ever stop getting ready. If you can make some of your, some stuff you have to like do online, and I get it. I order stuff. I just ordered 2 more filters. Hey, BBQ trucker, get some chickens already. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get the chickens. Believe me, I've been trying to bang things out, and I knew that the weather, the next 2 days, guys, we're supposed to have rain here at the homestead. So in my thought process, I'm thinking, okay, if I get the wood banged out and get that squared away, then I can I can be inside that chicken coop the next 2 days, working inside the chicken coop. So if it rains, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in the chicken coop. So I just want you to know that the chicken coop will be completed soon. We will be getting chickens soon, I promise you. Somebody actually made the recommendation, instead of chickens, to get quail. And they said quail would be better. They grow faster, and they produce a lot of eggs, and they're really good eating. So I might look into that. I might go with quail instead of chickens. So no ducks. Ducks are nasty. They crap everywhere, guys. They are horrible. So, but I'm going to see, I'm going to kind of, I'm not sure which way I'm going yet. If I may do, well, I know quail are small, and but quail eggs are really in high demand, and they're really, really good. So, I could make some kind of a deal with people. I might do both. I might do some quail and chickens. Okay, so we'll see. Stay tuned. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be really, really cool. So, but anyway, so the chicken coop will be. I got list upon list upon list. We're making great progress. This year, and it was funny too, because I sat there through the winter, and if you guys go back and watch my videos through the winter, I was really, really excited for this year. Really excited. And I knew we were going to make good progress. We were going to get things done. And, it's quail have to have an incubator. Okay, Gene, thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. But it's, things are going very, very well. First week of June, or first weekend in June, we're going to be getting the solar rack up. That was one of my huge projects that I wanted to get done this year. The chicken coop and the solar rack were the main 2 things that I wanted to get accomplished this year. You have never mentioned Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Your thought, Jerry? I wouldn't do Bitcoin. Personally, that's just my own personal thing. They can devalue that in a heartbeat, and I know some people have done it and they've made money off of it. For me personally, unless it's cold hard cash in my hand, I don't want to deal with that at all. So, again, some people bought in real high prices, and then it dropped off the shelf, and it hasn't recovered to those places again. Are snakes bad in my area? Not too bad, JJ. We don't have any poisonous snakes up here that I've seen. I've seen garden snakes and stuff like that, but not a whole lot of snakes up here. No. And you got to remember too, I have 8 cats. So my cats are out there doing their business with everything. They're taking care of everything. Yeah, I believe in silver. Mark just said silver. I think silver is a good thing to have. I would not get gold. I've talked about this before. Gold is too hard to get rid of. But definitely have silver. Have it in small denominations, quarters, half dollars, the silver dollars, and dimes. Old pre-64 for the dimes and the quarters, and those are nice to have. I have silver dollars. I like doing that. I've done that for years. But there's definitely, those are definitely things that I would, recommend you guys have. I have silver. I don't have a ton of silver, but I figure that's a nice barter item to have in it, to have it on hand. Yeah, gold was confiscated by the government in 1929. Paul, you are 100% correct. They absolutely, they did not back. Well, they eventually demonetized the dollar. It's not backed by anything anymore. It's a fiat dollar now. There's nothing that backs that at all. So, silver is actually pretty cheap right now, Drewman. It is, I think it's like not even $15 an ounce. So it's actually it's a good investment. And like I said, in an SHTF situation, it'll definitely be worth something. It's not, silver's not going to lose its value. That paper dollar, that will lose its value. There's not backed by anything. So, that's why, like I said, having goods, having things that are going to be useful, those are things that are going to be worth something after SHTF happens. Right here, guys, your brain, that's going to be something that can be useful after SHTF happens if you have the proper things for that. So absolutely, 15.50 an ounce. Okay, spot price. Yep. Okay. Yes. But the spot is like, you pay extra for that each ounce. But yeah, it's a great investment. I'm always like, I just actually counted coins today. If you actually can probably see them up here on the counter, I just went through my change, and I'm always checking the quarters and the dimes to see if I can't get an old one. And I do occasionally. I definitely do occasionally. Preppers will be the first target when SHTF. Donnie just said that. You know what? Yes and no. Depending on the event, depending on what's happening, I would agree to a point. But here's a point, and I've made this before. The last people you're going to want to go after as the average citizen after SHTF is a prepper. That's the last person you're going to want to go for, because if a prepper is a true prepper, they have prepared for every contingency. So they will be prepared to defend themselves as well. So just keep that in mind. So when these people, I used to get comments all the time, people would, talking out of their behind, oh, I'm going to come and take your stuff after SHTF happens. And I used to tell them good luck, because going after preppers after SHTF is really not a smart idea, unless you don't want to be on this planet very long. That would be my, did you see where Theresa May is resigning? I did see that. She tried to 4 times push that deal through, and they were rejecting it. They wanted her out. And so, I heard that she is resigning. So I heard that she's going to be out of there, which is not a bad thing. The UK, the people are waking up in the UK to what's going on. They're seeing things happening. And so, people are starting to smarten up. And I think more and more people, guys, all the time, not even just the UK, Australia, Germany, Sweden, all over the eastern continent of, Europe and in the United States, more and more people are waking up all the time. Yeah, Richard said, I will kill anyone that tries to take my Legos. You know what? When SHTF happens, depending again on what the event would be, all bets are off. I was having a conversation with a young lady who's actually a subscriber on the channel. I ran into her today at town, and really sweet people. Her and her husband, I've met them. Actually, I met them going to a garage sale, believe it or not. It was so funny. So we started talking, and so they've been watching my channel ever since then. And really, really good people, and they prep. And, they're an older couple. But, we were having a wonderful conversation today about stuff. And, survival, guys, and I've said it over and over and over again, and I'm going to say it again. If you don't have a group, you need to get with a group. You need to get with a group. You need to have that security, that tribe to work together to survive. It's really, really important. There's a couple things that I will say over and over and over again, okay? I talk about food. I talk about food a lot for a reason. You look at all throughout history in the starvation that happens when people thought everything was going to be fine and everything was going to be great. And then all these people died because of starvation, because they weren't ready. Okay. Water's going to be there. You got to make sure that you have ways to purify that water. We've talked about that too. So having food is important. Having the seeds to be able to grow, because that food storage you have is only going to last so long. What you have to have in your mind is that food storage that you have is to be used in conjunction with gathering, hunting, and growing your gardens. Okay. It has to be in conjunction with that. So that's so important. And the group, guys, I was talking with this lady today, and we were talking about that. I think it was in Poland that it happened. There was a group that they were deep in the woods, and it was a bunch of Jewish people, and they were surviving. They never got found out by the Germans because they were very, very careful and stuff like that. But by the time the end of the war happened, there was 2,000 people in the woods. So think about that. If you got 2,000 people working together, hey, TRW, thank you very much. And thank you for the donation. He said, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But you have that many people working together, and that's why it works, okay? Because you have a common goal. They're all trying to stay alive from people that want to kill them. So, again, when SHTF happens, guys, it's going to be better to have a group. You know, it really, really is. It's really, really important. Emil just said, well, actually, he goes by Rusty, so I'm just going to call him Rusty. Very few people admitting to being preppers or willing to join a group in northern BC. Want to find more here. I don't blame you. I mean, it's like, realistically, when something happens, I think that in the rural communities, and I've talked about this before, I think in the rural communities, you're going to have people that are going to work together for the common good of survival. Neighbors are going to work together. People out here are pretty friendly with their neighbors and stuff like that. Now, after an SHTF event, if you're a stranger, you're not going to really want to come to the hills, guys. You're not going to want to do that. People are going to do what they have to do. And if they think somebody's coming in to try to take stuff, they're not going to stand for it. They're just not going to. And so I really think rural communities have a better chance. You have so many people that already have that prepper mindset and may not even realize they have that prepper mindset because it's what they've grown up with. It's what they're used to. Having a wood stove, doing the different things, gardening and that type of stuff. Now, suburbia in the city is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be tougher. There's going to be a lot more takers than helpers, honestly, in my opinion, in those areas. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be takers out in the country, too. But I don't think that the takers are going to last very long in the country because there's a lot of good people out in the country, guys. There really, really is. So law against harvesting rain and the like are proof of targeting. You're absolutely right, Tubular Guy 9. That you are absolutely right. It's them cracking down on the tiny homes. It's another way. They're targeting people, trying to restrict people of what they can do. And it's amazing to me. So, yeah, preppers are targeted, guys. Off-grid people are targeted because we're doing something different. They're keeping an eye on us. They want to see what we're up to. If we have ulterior motives, and like I said, the only motive I have is to be as free as I possibly can be now, and when something happens, to make sure that my children and the people in my group survive. That's my motive. I don't want to rely on anybody to do that. So, Harvey Black, smash the like button, everyone. Yeah, please, if you would. Harvey just said it, so I'll say it. If you guys could hit the thumbs up button, I would appreciate that. Skills needed to be perfected. Absolutely. That's a great comment. Again, I've talked about this before as well. It's so important to make yourself valuable. The more that you learn, the more that you can contribute to a group is going to make you more valuable. Again, this conversation that I had with I'm going to say young lady. I mean, she's older, but she's, I say young lady. Today, we were talking about older people, with prepping and stuff like that. I said, they're very valuable. I said, what the younger generation has, like, for the most part, and I'm not going to say all, but the younger generation, for the most part, have no clue, zero clue. The older people are going to have to teach them. They're going to have to be the ones we're going to have to teach these kids. Hey, Mike, thank you very much for the donation. Will we be able to go to Mexico and seek refuge? Yeah, I doubt that. Would you want to go there to seek refuge? I mean, realistically, I wouldn't. There's a lot of stuff going down there that you don't want to be no part of. But older people, like when I was talking to her today, too, I was saying, listen, older person can sit on the radio in the main building and be on watch for that, and whoever's out on patrol, checking in with the people on patrol. Older people can watch the children. Older people can do, not labor-intensive tasks. So they can still contribute to a group. And the biggest thing that older people are going to contribute to a group, guys, is right here, knowledge. It's so important, that, that people realize that they're a wealth of information. And if they share that with you, it's going to really, really help everybody out. Oh, I wanted to talk about, so we have a large off-grid community here. We absolutely do. And the other thing, I want to talk about the Prepper Nurse One community on my website, preppernurse1.com. Again, I've said it before, but it's free to join, guys. Doesn't cost anything. You go in there and you register. The forums are blowing up in the chat in there, guys. Some great conversations, people putting up some great information. So go over there, you register for whatever state that you're in, or country that you're in, and hopefully connect with like-minded people from your state. If you can find people in your area and maybe you can form a group, that's great. If you just want to go in there and share ideas and share thoughts with like-minded people with no judgment, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's totally free. It's very, very private. A person just can't come in and look and see what's going on. You have to be registered, okay? So definitely check that out. I wanted to mention, too, the Legacy Sale we're extending it through Monday at midnight West Coast time, which would actually be the next day, which would be the 26th, 3 a.m. East Coast time, for that bucket sale. If you're interested in getting, freeze-dried food for your long-term preps, the bucket meals right now are 25% off. So definitely check that out too if you're interested. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that as well. Also, if you're looking to get kratom for pain relief, Mike has a link on my page. Again, you go into the store part and you'll see the link for kratom. You click on that, you save 10%. Mike has a separate website for that. So definitely go and check that out if you're interested in kratom as well. And definitely check out the Watchman News as well. He does a show every single day, does a live dialogue and stuff like that. So check that out as well. It starts at 4 o'clock every night. He does that. So definitely go over there and check out the Watchman News as well. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to let you guys know too, on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing an interview with, I'm going blank on her name. And I can't think she's starting her, it's Marfugal News. It's a separate channel that he has that's run, and I can't think of her name, and I'm going blank, and I feel like an idiot. But anyway, I'm going to be on her show on Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a live chat on there. We're going to be talking about nursing homes in the nursing industry and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out on Tuesday, please come over there. I'm going blank on what her name is. Oh, Shauna. Thank you very much. Yeah. And so definitely, yeah, thank you. Everybody's throwing it up there now. I was absolutely blanked, and I literally just talked to her, I think, yesterday. She is awesome. Really, really nice girl. And so we're going to be doing, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to be on with her, and we're going to be doing a live stream on her show. So definitely check that out, okay? So that's going to be on Tuesday. And I don't know exactly what time we're doing that yet. I got to talk to her again. But so do you think Canadian and Mexican border should be shut to the U.S.? Once SHTF happens, guys, it's going to be a free-for-all. I think that the borders aren't going to really matter anymore. I think, if it's a major event that affects everybody, it's going to affect Canada and it's going to affect Mexico as well. So, the borders are not going to make any difference anymore at that point. Hey, Mike, should non-U.S. citizens be forced to get the Ebola vaccine? Thank you for the donation, by the way, too. You know what? There's a lot of talk about that going on as well right now with the whole Ebola situation. I don't think anybody should be forced to get the Ebola vaccine, to be honest with you, because realistically, what's in it? All right. That's a scary kind of deal. It's just like, just what they just did with the whole measles things, that supposed outbreak where 120 people had measles down in New York City, and they were forcing people to get immunizations. I don't like anything that's forced. So I definitely would not, I'm not going to ever say that I think that this should definitely be something that happens. I don't think anybody should be forced to do anything. I've heard of the mutated strain of Ebola. I think there's some stuff going on. I think there's some stuff being not talked about. And so we will be doing some more. We're going to do another whole. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to probably do a chat on Ebola as well coming up. But there's some definitely stuff. So a couple people were saying that they watch Murphs. Love him, good guy, down to earth. Can't say anything bad about him. I've talked to him several times. I was on a show one time. We actually had talked. We're planning on getting together, and I'm going to be on his show again. So I got to actually touch base with him too. So I'm going on a radio show on Saturday, and I can't tell you what that one is. And I have no idea because I don't know. I can't remember what he said, but I plan on being on his show on Saturday. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be with Shauna. I think she's taken that channel over. It's not a separate channel than Marv. It was his channel, and he basically has turned it over to her. So I think that's what that's going on with that, to be honest with you. But Murph is awesome, guys. Or Adam, and he's a good guy, and like chatting with him, liked working with him. Like I said, hopefully I'll be on his show again here in the near future. I make it look so easy. I'm going to tell you what, guys. Doing the off-grid lifestyle is not easy. Okay, it's not easy at all, and it can be very, very difficult. Most people that go off-grid, they literally within a year are back on grid. It is not easy, but if you are determined and if it's a passion for you, you stick with it. You get through the bumpy parts. It is so well worth it. Is JJ here tonight? I didn't see JJ on here. JJ, you around? Yep, there he is. All right, JJ. Here we go. I wanted you to be offended tonight, so I went out and actually bought some tea. And just busting your chops. So it's a joke, guys. JJ said he's offended when I drink my green tea. So that's the joke. So anybody that didn't know what we were talking about, that's what that's about. But no, it's going off grid and doing this, it's not easy. If you go in there with realistic expectations and realize that it's not going to be a walk in the park and that it's not going to be super easy, but if you work at things and you make progress and you set realistic goals, going off grid is very, very doable. Literally, guys, I mean, I did it with 2 teenage kids. Okay, when we moved up here, the kids were 13 years old when we moved up here. Next month we'll have been here for 4 years already, and I absolutely love it. I don't ever see myself ever going back on grid. I have no desire to do it. This is just, first of all, being out in the country and the peace and the quiet, it's so wonderful. Now, I got to tell you, I've lived in the city. I lived in Rochester. Several years I lived in Rochester, different parts of Rochester, New York, okay? I've lived in suburbia, and I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand people so on top of me and so no privacy. And if Joe blows across the halls having a fight with his girlfriend, you hear everything. It's like, it's crazy. So out here, it's peaceful, it's quiet. I'm going to tell you what, and this is no lie. For years and years and years, I slept with a fan on all the time, always. White noise. I lived in the city. We had 2 bars outside of where I lived for a while. Hey, Mike, nowadays, what is a safer building, underground or building in the mountains? I think if you can do both, I think it's a really good idea. The higher elevation you are, it's definitely better. It's going to help you in a flooding situation. So I think it's really, really important to have high elevation wherever you are, okay? The second thing is if you can get an underground shelter of some sort in place, I think it's important to do so. I don't have that yet here. I do want to do that as well. I'm trying to work on other things right now that on my priority list, but that is definitely on my list of things to do. Okay, so I definitely wanted to address that. But yeah, it's if you can have both, if you can get an underground shelter to have as a backup, I think it's a really, really a good thing. Especially like you look at in the Midwest and through the central United States and all the tornadoes and stuff that are going on through that area right now. You should have a bunker of some sort. You should have. So, that's important because there's just, it's craziness. Do you have a preferred overall atlas or raising a bunker or underground shelters? I don't really have a preference. I haven't really looked at, if I'm going to do something, honestly, guys, what my game plan would be, I would really want to try to build something myself using a tremendous amount of rebar, using concrete blocks, and literally taking each one of the concrete blocks and filling them up with mortar, and rebar to make sure that they're extra strong. That's the way I want to do it. So when I do something underground, we're going to probably do it ourselves, but it's going to be something that's going to be super, super solid, that is going to be really, really strong. And that's what I'm going to try to do when I do that. But, I definitely want to do it like that. I definitely do. Let's see. Both are in Texas, doing one on the hill. Oh, that's cool. Wow, 3 of his 5 boys are deployed, one in South Korea, one in Qatar, and one in South Africa. Yeah, I bet you are worried, JJ. That's tough. Having them all over like that, can't be any kind of fun. It can't be. Any parents of military, they have their children that are in the military, it is really, really tough. It's a very, very stressful thing. We always worry about our children no matter what. I mean, my daughter's going off to college, and I'm going to worry about her, okay? I couldn't even imagine, as a parent, to have your children off in uniform someplace in a foreign country. It's got to be very, very scary. Did I buy my land to get started? Baby doll, yeah. What I did when I bought my property here, I bought it privately from a private person. I didn't go through a bank or anything like that. And so the way that I did it, Dean, I'll get to that in just a second. So when I bought my property, I gave them so much down, and then we were going to do 3 years of payments. Well, after I had been paying on the property for a year, that was actually before we even moved up here, she got into a little bit of financial difficulty, and we ended up doing a settlement to pay off the balance or percentage of the balance of what I owed her. So I basically, a year after I started paying the payments, I paid off my property at that point. So I own my property outright. Obviously, I have to pay my taxes, which I do religiously because it's like I want to keep my property. So somebody had just asked, how's mom doing and how are the kids? Mom is doing fine. Actually, I just talked to her, and she's actually going to come over on Monday because she wants to see everything. She wants to see everything that we've been doing here. So mom's going to come for a visit on Monday. Kids are doing great. They're healthy, happy. They're wonderful. They're real good kids. So everybody's doing very, very well. How did I find my land to live on? Okay, baby doll. The way I found my land is I actually went to a realtor. I told her my price range. I said, this is where I want to be. And she was like, okay. So, and then I told her that logistically where I wanted to be at as far as that. And so we were looking and I ended up, being down in this area, which was like pretty much the distance, the farthest that I wanted to be away. And so I came up here and I actually looked at 2 properties up here. And even though, and it's funny because the other one had a trailer and it had a garage, and I was looking at that one. But when I saw this one, and it's funny because I'll never forget the look on the real estate lady's face when I saw this one. And if you go back on my videos when we first bought the property here, and you'll see what the property looked like. And I looked at my mom and I said, I see the potential of what this could be. And she looked at me and she went, you know what, Ed, I see the same thing. So, that's why I bought this property, because I knew I could develop it and it would take time, but I knew it could be awesome. And give me another 5 years and it will be super awesome. We may not have 5 years, but we'll see what happens. But, as long as each day that goes by, it gives me more time to get ready. So that's, but yeah, I'm very, very fortunate to find this piece of property where I did and stuff like that. It's been awesome. What do we got here? Oh, Richard's got to go to work. Ugh, nuke plant. Have fun, Richard. Thanks for stopping in and visiting with us for a while, though. Thank you. TRW just said, he has to go too. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, TRW. Thank you very much. We're making progress, guys. It's been awesome. I mean, I'm like super excited. I cannot wait to get into the build for the solar rack. I think it's going to be really, really cool. Somebody had asked if it's going to be on one pole. No, it's not going to be just on one pole. We're going to have several poles that are going in. They're already. I'll show you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's video. We have the poles in concrete buckets right now. We're going to be taking the buckets. Either we're going to take the buckets off, or we're going to be, we're going to put holes in the bucket so that the water can seep out of that. Okay. But I will show you that tomorrow. And those are going to go in first, and then we're going to be backfilling. We're going to have some piping underground as well for the wires. So that's going to be done as well. And so it's going to be really, really cool once everything is all set and in place. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited for it. I can't wait. So it's going to be a fun build. Do I ever take a vacation? It's been a while. It's been a while. A couple of years ago, I took a vacation. Oh, thank you, baby doll. She said, thanks again and love all that you do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Are we going to lay ground wires? We're going to be putting the wire for the panels and everything. It's going to be going into probably PVC tubing underground. So it's all going to be contained, and it's going to be, that way. So it'll be really, staycation. Exactly. There's always something to do here. So, that's kind of how it's worked. But, and I like being home. I mean, I like being here. So it's not like it's like, oh my God, I got to get away from it. Now, I will tell you, in the middle of winter, sometimes I would love to get out of Dodge. But, it's for the most part, it's like I really, really enjoy being here. This time of year, guys, is absolutely awesome. It's not too hot yet. It's not too cold. On a good breezy day, the bugs don't bother you. The bugs are out there now. There's no doubt about that. But, it's just, it's awesome. So I like I said, I'm where I wanted to be. And again, it's very peaceful. Also, I wanted to get back to what I was saying earlier. Of course, I got distracted, which I always do. Fans. I slept with fans for years and years and years. When I say years and years, probably 20 plus years, I slept with a fan on. When I moved out here, I haven't slept with a fan on again. It's just so quiet and it's so peaceful that you don't need to. You don't need that white noise. You don't need that background noise to help you sleep. So that's really, really cool. When I create the pond, can you have fish, a section for rice and rice paddies, and also aquaponics? Good question, Jessica. When we put the pond in, we're definitely going to be doing fish. I plan on doing aquaponics, to be honest with you, in my greenhouse. So when we get to that point and get that project going, you're going to see that whole thing in there. So I will have fish in the pond, but I will also have fish in the greenhouse as well with an aquaponics system set up, because that's how I plan on growing once we get that whole situation squared away. What's my opinion on what happened to Isaac Cap? I have no idea. I don't even know who that is, Paul. So I don't know. I didn't see that story. Am I EMP ready? No, not even close. I do have some backup stuff. I do have some stuff set aside, but I don't think you can ever truly be ready for an EMP. So that would be definitely tough. Oh, he was murdered, Kevin said. I don't even know who he was. Yeah, guys, you got to remember, I don't have TV. When we moved down here, like I said, next month it'll be 4 years. When we moved down here, I gave away every TV that I had. I never plan on having television again. The news all the time, I called it the death news. It was nothing positive on television for the most part. I watched the History Channel. I used to watch the Yankees, Discovery Channel, There was a couple of shows that I watched, and that was pretty much it. It was too much garbage on there. And for the amount of money that you had to pay, to me, it wasn't worth it. My grandfather, when I was growing up, and we basically had 3 channels plus channel 21, and then we eventually got channel 31. So we were up to a whopping 5 channels when I was a kid, okay? My grandfather used to call it the idiot box. So he said, if you watch it long enough, it'll turn you into an idiot. Yeah, you know what? He says Marfugel has something to protect you from an EMP. I actually talked to him about that a little bit, and you know, I got to talk with him more about that. So we are going to coordinate with that company, and I'm going to actually probably hopefully talk with them, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I know. Aquaponics are going to be very expensive to get the startup on that. And the thing is, when I plan on putting in my greenhouse, guys, I'm going to do a geothermal system as well with the greenhouse. So that's underground piping that's going to keep that greenhouse no matter what time of year at about 58 degrees. So I definitely want to do that. And so when I do my greenhouse, I will be doing it the right way. I'm not going to just throw something together and call it a greenhouse. I'm not going to do it. So when I get to that point and we get the greenhouse going, you're going to see all that progress as we go. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very, very busy, and it's going to be a lot of work. But once that project is completed, it's going to be very, very cool. So I definitely have to save up for that one. But can you do a session on stitches and first aid? Yeah, I can do that. You know what? I definitely will do some video on that, guys. I know that, like I said, it's been crazy. Lots going on right now. I've been really, really busy. So I actually probably have about 10, 12 emails of people that have emailed me that I haven't even gotten to yet, because I've just been doing other things and trying to get things done. Like today, like I said, I finished up, splitting that wood this morning. Then I went out and I got my plants for the garden today. So I got those. Those got to get in the ground. Like I said, they're calling for rain the next 2 days. So I'm going to just basically play that by ear. If I get a lull, and we don't get the rain or don't get as much, or if it's not as bad, I plan on, I plan on getting, the garden in if I can. If I can't, then I'm going to probably do it first part of next week. So, but, when I got my plants, I got an idea of what I want to do, so I'll share that with you when I do it. I think it'll be pretty cool. And so I wanted to mention this too. I do plan on doing, and somebody made the suggestion, and I don't remember who it was, but do I want to do Route 66? Oh, do I want a Route 66 Harley shirt? Oh, yeah, please, that'd be great. Extra large, please, Sue. That would be great. I would love that. Thank you. Mike, thank you for the donation. The Chinese sun simulator is giving us cancer. Oh, there's I've heard talk about that they're kind of blocking the sun and doing stuff like that. Do I know if I have any medicinal trees or bushes in my area? I actually do. I will be doing a video on that, guys. I'll probably have a little prepper lady with me. We're going to go out in the woods together. And in that way, we can have one of us holding the camera and the other one talking about whatever plant it is and identifying it. And so we're definitely going to be doing that. So I may do that over a course of a few videos. So just so you know, okay. So so definitely look for that too. There's a lot going to be coming. There's a lot coming. Honestly, I promise you. But like I said, the last several days, I've just really been focusing on trying to get that wood finished up, get that split, getting the other work done on the property that we had done. And so it's been awesome, guys. I'm going to tell you what, I feel like I'm on cloud 9. I'm really, really happy with things. And like I said, once we get that new solar rack up, you got to remember right now, I have 3,120 watts of solar power. I have 900 watts, 300 watt solar panels that I've been sitting on for over a year. That are just sitting there. So those are going to be going up. Once those are up, first of all, it's going to increase my production of power by at least 25%. Once we get everything up on the rack, I think overall it's just going to make everything better as far as our production of power, because now there won't be anything shaded. They'll be at up at a higher elevation. The panels will be. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, it's going to be all metal structure. And that wasn't cheap. So, but again, you have to work at things methodically. And I would have loved to have done it last year. I talked about doing it last year, and I just wasn't able to. So, how often do you need to clean the Berkey? My recommendation, guys, as far as your Berkey, once a month. Use it for the month, take it apart, clean it. Do I do it every month? No. I'll be honest with you, I don't. Sometimes it's like 2 months, and I go, oh, man, I got to clean the Berkey. So I try to clean it on a regular basis. I'm checking it all the time. Once the filters start getting grimy, then I'm like, okay, it's time to clean the Berkey. So I clean everything then at that point, and then I put it back together. Like I said, again, I have no affiliation with Berkey. I want you to know that, but I absolutely love the product. It's fantastic. It really, really works. I have, I think it's called the Big Berkey. It's a 6-gallon one. Fantastic. If you have a family of 3, 4, 5, Big Berkey is the way to go. And just stay on top of it. But have backup filters if you can. And what is a Berkey? Berkey is a water filter. It's a water filter system that helps purify the water. So whatever water you could use creek water, you could use water out of a pond, you could use water out of the swamp, and it will filter that water. Now, obviously, you want to try to use as clean a water in your system as you possibly can. That would be the best way. I would, if you were trying to get the water out of a pond, for say, or out of a swamp, I would filter that water through a T-shirt first before I poured it into the Berkey. That would be me. But yeah, Berkeys are awesome. They're. Oh, okay. Then I either have. I think I must have the Royal Berkey then, or the Crown. Yeah, either the Crown or the Royal. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I know it's a 6-gallon Berkey. That's what I remember. I looked at the size and I said, I'm going to get this size, and that's what I went with. Do I have a creek near me? Yes, I do. Probably less than half a mile away, there's a creek. So yeah, there's in the water. Actually, if I went back through a different way, I'm actually closer than a half mile. So yeah, we definitely have a creek near us. Let's see. How long does a filter last on average? About 3,000 gallons for the Berkey filters. So, if you figure you're, using, if it's a 6-gallon tank and you're filling that tank up once or twice a week, so there's 12 gallons a week, divide that out by 3,000, and that's how long that's going to be good for. It might go a little bit longer than that. I have 2 travel-sized Berkeys, one for my house and one for my bug out location. What I have, I told you guys this too. I have the Katadyn water filter system. It's for hikers. That thing will filter 10,000 gallons of water. It weighs less than a pound. It's about that long, very, very thin. Great thing. Very, very. It's expensive. I'm not going to lie. It's not cheap, but one filter will filter 10,000 gallons of water. So I have that one, and then I have a backup filter for it as well. So I paid the extra money. I think the extra filter was a couple $100 at the time when I bought it. I don't remember right now, but I that's how much it was. It wasn't cheap, but I just figured if I had to bug out, I have that, and I'm good to go. So that's why I made that investment. Yeah, Berkeys are good for your house, guys. Berkeys are great to have in your house. If you live in the city, if you live in suburbia, even if you live in the country, definitely use a Berkey and use that water for drinking and for cooking. That's what I would use it for. That's what we use it for. So that would be my recommendation. If you can filter out that kind of stuff, what kind for hiking? It's called a Katadyn. Kaydn, I think is how you spell it. I'm not 100% sure, but it's called. If you put that in, the right one should come up. Katadyn water filter. Do not let portable filters freeze. No, you're good advice, Kevin. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, you want to make sure they don't freeze. For solar batteries, what I would look at, guys, for solar batteries, it really depends on what you want. Okay, it really depends on what you want. If you're looking for marine deep cycle batteries, you can get them anywhere. If you are looking for Trojans, you have to go through a dealer. So, and a lot of times, guys, the like places that service golf carts and stuff like that, they will get Trojan batteries. You just got to find out who sells them, and that's the way to do it. Oh, spell it again. Kaydan, I think, something like that. I don't know 100% for sure. I'm trying to think where I even have that. I could pull that out. But I actually have done some videos on that. How are my walks coming along? Well, the last 3 days, I'll be honest with you, I did not walk the last 3 days because I've been focusing on working on the wood. And believe me, that's been a workout in itself. But I will be back. Oh, Katadyn. No, I think that's too much. I think that, but yeah, if you put that in, the right spelling should pop up. And Katadyn. There you go. I think that's the right way to spell it. Katadyn. I think that's how it goes. Because if you put that in, it'll come, and then just put water filter after it. It should give you the right one. But they're awesome to have. Awesome to have. But yeah, I didn't walk the last 3 days. I just really been focusing on getting that wood done. And believe I did, like I said, 2 hours today on that. I think it was about 6 hours yesterday. And then the day before that, I don't even remember how much I did the day before that. So I've been freaking humping along with that. And believe me, that was enough of a workout that I didn't need to walk. So, yeah, it was, but I will be back walking. But I feel better, guys. Just being active makes me feel a lot better. Like I said, I got more motivation, and the walking is definitely helping that as well. So definitely. I'm looking at a Patriot compressor to do with solar panels. Are you familiar? I am not familiar with that at all. Can you use oh yeah, okay, fish mocks. We can talk about this real quick. I've done videos on this, guys. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy fish mocks, but I will tell you this. I have fish mocks. I also have the fish penicillin as well. So I have the amoxicillin and the penicillin. It is the same exact thing that your doctor will give you as far as amoxicillin goes or penicillin goes. They just say not for human consumption. But if you took the pill that you got from your doctor and the pill that you got for your fish, it's the same exact pill. So you will use your own judgment on that. I'm not going to tell you to go do it, but I have it and I will use it. Having that antibiotic could be the difference between life and death. So I definitely use it. I'm not telling you what to do. It's your choice, but it's the same exact thing. Let's see what we got here. Anyway, guys, again, if you guys could give me a quick thumbs up if you haven't already, I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's as many different kinds that you can. Mountain Girl just said that. Yeah, if you're allergic to penicillin, then you want to go with amoxicillin or one of the other ones. They have different choices that you can get. You can get them, guys, at Tractor Supply. You can get them at Walmart. If you call your local Tractor Supply, if they don't have any in stock there, they can tell you where they're available of one of the other local Tractor Supplies. I had to take a ride. My local one did not have them, but they had them at another Tractor Supply, and I had to drive about a half an hour away to that other Tractor Supply. And I went in, and they had two bottles of penicillin, and they had 2 bottles of amoxicillin, and I bought them all. So it's a personal choice. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but that's the way that's what I'm doing. Garlic has some antibiotic properties too. Yeah, it keeps away the vampires. Yeah, actually, garlic is really good for you too. So definitely have that on hand. If you have, if you grow it, put it right into your regular diet. It's not bad. It's a good thing for you to have. Garlic is very, very good to have. Are solar batteries expensive, and how long do solar batteries last? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what my batteries are. I'm about to tell you how much they cost and the projected shelf life of them. I have Trojan L16E batteries. Okay, they are designed for off-grid living. They are $259 a piece for a 6-volt battery. They weigh almost 100 pounds a piece. They have a basically, if they're taken care of properly, they should last you at least 10 years. There's other batteries that you can get that are going to be more expensive, but if you went with lithium or something like that, it's more expensive, but it has a much longer shelf life. So again, it's a personal choice of which way you want to do it. And oh, there you go. Somebody, Bernard just said for the best fish mocks, and he's got a website there. So guys, check that out if you're looking to do that. So, but anyway, fish mocks, antibiotic control. Yeah, but fish mocks, it's still amoxicillin. So it's the same exact thing that you would get from your doctor. Yeah, with the JJ Biggs just said, use distilled water to service your batteries. Yeah, if you have, like with my batteries, I have to check the levels of my water, and so I didn't do it this recently, but probably 3-4 months ago, I went in and I bought. I think I ended up buying like 5 gallons of distilled water, and I used that to bring the levels back up. And then you have to check them and make sure everything's good. You have to check your not the pH level, but your acidity level in your battery. So it's something you have to keep an eye on. Where if you go with the lithium batteries, you don't have to check anything. You just put it in there and boom, and it's good to go. So just so you guys know that. Penicillin. There's fish mocks, and it's a penicillin fish mocks, and they have amoxicillin fish mocks. Okay, it's the same exact thing. It is penicillin and it's amoxicillin. They give it a different name. It's the same exact pills, and it will do the same exact thing that you're from your doctor. So if you look at the pills and compare them, if you ever have either one of, like if you go and you get amoxicillin, and then you go and you buy the fish mocks, you'll look at the pills, they're the same exact thing. Absolutely the same. $250 or $500. Get the $500 if you're going to order it, Rachel. Better to go with the stronger dosage. Trojan, keep the H2O on the plates last 20 years. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you guys. I baby my batteries. I'm not going to lie. I baby the crap out of my batteries. I do not push them. I want them to last me as long as they possibly can. I have, just in batteries alone, I have 12 batteries. I have $3,000 tied up in my batteries. So they're not cheap. But it's an investment like anything else. So I really hope that I can make them last as long as I possibly can. Let's see. Right. And so somebody just said, and you don't have to go through the health insurance headaches if you're going to get fish mocks. Right. You don't have to deal with going to the doctors and paying for a doctor's visit, with your copay and all that type of stuff. You go, you have it. If you know that you have some kind of an infection, and again, it's individual choice, guys. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm just saying that I plan on using it and I have it. So, okay, so Cindy just asked, how long will the fish mock last for? Again, there's only certain things that are going to go bad. So there is most medications are going to last a long, long time. So again, they may lose some strength, but for the most part, if you go in there, you can look and you go type. This is what I want you to do for the question that you had with that. You're going to type in medications, how long will they last, and it's going to give you a whole breakdown of every one of the medications and how long they will last. But they will last a long time past the expiration date. Yeah, Jessica just said, keep your fish marks in a dark, cool room like a closet. Absolutely. Yeah, it's already in a container that's dark. But if you keep it someplace where it's not going to be exposed to extremes in temperatures and stuff like that, you should be really, really good to go. Will solar batteries last for 50 years? It depends on what kind of batteries that you have. They do have batteries out there that are going to last a long, long time, but you're going to pay for those. They're not cheap, guys. They are not cheap at all. So again, that is definitely, you have to weigh the cost. I mean, if you plan on, being around, don't use old epinephrine. Yeah, old insulin, guys, is not something you want to use. Definitely do not use that. Did you get the info on the book that tells you what medical use for each infection? Did I get the? I don't know if I got that or not. I might. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. Well, anyway, guys, it's a little after 9 here, so I'm going to jump off here from now. I'm going to tell everybody again, check out Sunday's show. It's going to be really, really interesting. You may agree or you may not agree. Okay, we're going to be having an interesting topic. The wording will be a little bit different, so it should be an awesome, awesome talk on Sunday. Little Prepper Lady will be joining me here on Sunday for that. So it should be a lot of fun, a lot of good information. Keep an open mind is what I'm going to say. And you don't have to agree, and that's fine. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong if you disagree. But if you keep an open mind and look at things rationally from an objective viewpoint, you will see how badly we were played. So, and that's my opinion. And so you can have your own, but you will see. Donnie, that could be the topic, but it's not going to say that in the title. So, but definitely be here Sunday. It's going to be a fun chat. I'm looking forward to it. And anyway, guys, I like to end all my shows the same. Remember, we are all in this together, so it's really, really important that we try to help each other out as much as we possibly can. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Also, remember, guys, STD. I mean, I'm the perfect example of that. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Work at things methodically. They'll come together. You'll be amazed how fast things get done if you just work at things methodically. Don't have 10 projects going at the same time. Focus on one, bang it out. The next thing you know, you're checking that off the list, okay? I just got all that wood split. Guess what's checked off my list? The wood is split. Now, it's got to get stacked, but, that part of it, the hard part, is done as far as I'm concerned. Stacking is easy. So anyway, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Look for tomorrow's video, and I hope everybody has a good, safe weekend. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Let's remember what it's for, okay? Let's remember the people that sacrificed their lives for us so that we are free. That's really, really important to remember, too. And so, a lot of people have sacrificed. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.